All right, so now we're going to take a look at adding and subtracting with radicals. Okay, so first thing we need to do is simplify anything that can be simplified. Okay, so I know off the top of my head that square root 6 does not simplify. Okay, but if you weren't sure, then just do your birthday cake thing. So I have 2 divided by 2, you get 3. Divide by 3, you get 1. There are no pairs of anything, which means it does not simplify. Okay, so this part does not simplify. All right, which means the end over here does not simplify either. Okay, but the middle one, 45, should simplify. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to write, I have -3 square root 45. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is do just the 45. I know I can divide 45 by, no, undo. I can divide 45 by 5. I think I can do 3, but I'm going to go 5. All right. So I can divide that by 5 and get 9, divide 9 by 3 and get 3, divide 3 by 3 and get 1. Okay, so here I have a pair of 3s and a 5 that's here. So this 3 will come out and multiply by the -3 that was already here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to just bring this part down. So 3 radical 6. Okay, now this -3 was already here. So I'm going to just rewrite it. So -3 times this 3 that's a pair and the 5 that's left over. So this 5 will go under the radical. Okay, so that takes care of that 45. And then I'm just going to bring this part down. So +2 radical 6. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it so that it just looks better for a moment. So -3 times 3 is -9. +2 square root 6. All right, so when you're adding radicals, it's just like adding variables. So just a side note, if I were to say what's 2x plus 3x, okay, that would be 5x. You just add the numbers with it and keep the variable. All right, but if I said what's 2x plus 3y, it's just 2x plus 3y. Okay, you can't add those together because the variables aren't the same. So that's kind of how you treat radicals. If the number under the radical is the same, so like 3 square root 6 and 2 square root 6, those can be combined together. You will add the numbers on the outside. Okay, so 3 plus 2 will give me 5. Do not add the number under the radical. It stays 6. The radical protects it. Okay, and then bring down this other part. So because that's a 5, it cannot be combined with it. And so that will be your answer. Okay, so when you're looking at problems like this, you want to simplify any radical that can be simplified first, which is what I did. Okay, and then you will combine like terms. Let's look at another example. All right. And sometimes it makes it easier to split it into like 3 separate problems. So I'm going to do that this way on here. So I'm going to let this be a problem, and then I'm going to let that be a problem, and then we'll combine it back together when we're done. Okay. So first thing I need to do is simplify this square root 12. So I'm going to start up here with this 12. I can divide by 3 and get 4, divide by 2 and get 2, divide by 2, and get 1. So I have a pair of 2's that will come out. All right. So this 2 will come out with this negative that was there. So I'll have a negative 2 radical and then a 3. Okay. And then now I want to do 18. Okay. So I'm going to do that over here to the side. You can divide by 2 and get 9. Divide by 3 and get 3. Divide by 3 and get 1. Okay. So now I have a pair of 3's that will come out. So that 3 is going to come out of the radical and multiply by the negative 2 that's here. So I'm just going to actually write it like that. It's going to be negative 2 times the 3 that came out. And then this 2 that doesn't have a pair will stay. So this will become negative 6 square root 2. All right, and then square root 3 will not simplify. So this part just stays negative 2 square root 3. Okay. All right. I'm going to rewrite it all together. So I'm going to bring this down. So negative 2 square root 3 minus 6 square root 2 and then minus 2 square root 3. Okay. So the ones that have the same number under the radical are like terms. So this negative 2 square root 3 and this negative 2 square root 3 will become a negative 4 square root 3. And then this part, I'm just going to bring it down. So minus 6 square root 2. And that will be my final answer here.